But little has been heard about the thousands of prisoners who have AIDS in America and who are quarantined even behind prison bars. Here's ABC's Karen Burns.
In January of 1987, Michael Arrington was convicted of shoplifting. Now he faces an irrevocable death sentence.
They told me that you got AIDS and you're probably going to be dead before the year's out. This was the end of the world. The day the world ended was the day that I came into 7 Dorm.
7 Dorm is the cell block where Alabama's prisoners who test positive for HIV, the AIDS virus, are held.
She said, "You've got AIDS." You know, I'm thinking, well, I'm dead.
This place has been called a leper colony, a gulag, a prison within a prison.
Their laundry is washed separate from the laundry of the rest of the prisoners. Initially, HIV was stamped across their clothing. They eat on separate disposable plates and use separate disposable utensils. Even the trash is burned in a separate location.
In 1985, the state of Alabama began segregating inmates with the AIDS virus, placing them in a modern-day quarantine. A policy warden, J.D. White, says is necessary to protect all prisoners.
3 facts of life in a prison are intravenous drug usage, homosexuality, and a extreme potential for violence.
But in 1988, the ACLU decided to challenge the quarantine, charging that inmates were isolated, deprived of virtually all prison privileges, recreational, religious, and rehabilitative, and saying they were neglected and left to die with no medical care in what inmates called the House of the Dead. Scott Smith has the AIDS virus. He is 22. How does this make you feel as a human being, being in here, being in Dorm 7?
Degrading. To me, it's cruel and unusual punishment. I'm stigmatized. I'm cut off from everything. I'm outcast from everything. It's dehumanizing. It's a total disgrace. We've got labels now. We're AIDS patients.
People would say, what difference does it make how you treat him? He's committed a crime.
Okay, incarceration is punishment for the crime that I've committed. To be incarcerated, stigmatized, denied all opportunities that other inmates are allowed is a violation of my constitutional rights.
I am of the belief that you, so to speak, make your bed, you have to lay in it. They chose, I would say the majority of them chose to be where they are, and they chose their lifestyle. They knew the risk.
But that risk is one healthy inmates don't want to take. Cliff Belcher favors the quarantine.
I was sentenced to serve a sentence. I wasn't sentenced to a death penalty. I'm afraid that if I came in contact with them, that I wouldn't live to walk out of here.
They will die one day, and that's a fact. That's not myth. They will die one day. So what do they have to lose?
The court agreed that inmates had a right to be kept free from risk, and the ACLU lost its lawsuit. Still, there have been some changes.
You'll be fine.
Prison officials decided to give HIV inmates the expensive AIDS drug AZT, which prevents infections, because it is cheaper than providing more costly treatment once inmates are seriously ill. So AZT now prolongs the lives of those who must continue to live in isolation. Isolation meant to protect the majority of the prison. Do you think that you're actually halting the spread of the disease in this prison?
Absolutely. We've tested everyone that came in to the system. If they were negative when they came in, they were negative when they left the system.
The warden here and others in the Department of Corrections say that this program at Limestone of segregating HIV inmates and giving them AZT is one that other institutions and even other countries are beginning to view as a model for slowing the spread of AIDS. Still, for those who live in isolation, the price of that policy is profound.
I have no opportunity to do anything except sit here and wait on death to come greet me. Wait on the Grim Reaper.
Karen Burns, ABC News, Capshaw, Alabama.
An extensive problem. A study of more than 11,000 inmates by Johns Hopkins University found that roughly 1 out of every 24 was infected with the AIDS virus. That is 10 times higher than in the general population.